What's up, Desktopers? Xavier Wills here for Desktop Bodybuilding, and in this video I'm previewing the 2020 California Pro Championships that are going to be held this weekend. I give my preview and predictions. Will Patrick Moore win this one, or will it be someone else? I've got all that plus much more coming up in this video, guys. I hope you enjoy it. What's up, Desktopers? Xavier Wills here for Desktop Bodybuilding, and before we get into this video, I want to encourage you guys, if you like and appreciate this contest coverage, please give me a thumbs up and smash that like button. Also, subscribe and hit the notification bell button. That way, be notified of every video that goes up for myself, Xavier Wills at Desktop Bodybuilding. We have bodybuilding news, bodybuilding interviews, contest coverage just like this, and I'm going to be doing a wrap-up of not only the finals from this show, but also the pre-judging as well. As soon as I can, I'm going to put out a nice wrap-up of that as well, as I did with the New York Pro, which did really well. So let's get into this one. I'm going to be doing my preview of the 2020 California Pro Championships, and I'm going to be going from 10th to 1st. And this one's actually being held outside of California, which is a little weird, obviously, because of the whole COVID restrictions thing. It's going to be in Las Vegas, Nevada, and there's going to be a live stream of this contest as well. Now, I'm not sure on the US price for this. I didn't bother doing a currency conversion, but I'm guessing it's about $25 US, because it's showing up about $41 Australian when I went into the to purchase it. So you can get the live stream. It's at musclecontest.com, so make sure you check that out if you do want to watch a contest this weekend. Otherwise, you can check out my post-comp wrap-ups and all that sort of stuff as well. So let's launch into it. 10th place, I don't know how to pronounce his name correctly. He's a new pro. It's Jose Placentia. Sorry if I've messed it up, or Jose Placentia. Now, this dude competed last year actually against Nick Walker, who just got his pro card last weekend at the North Americans, and I believe he placed 3rd or 4th there. It looked actually really quite good, but obviously not to the level of Nick Walker and the eventual winner, which I can't actually remember his name now. But he's turned pro, and I don't know if this is his pro debut or not, but overall, I think that he's going to do pretty well. You know, placing a top 10 out of a lineup of 13, you know, might not be seen as amazingly well, but he can actually move up, because there are some guys above him that are a little bit smaller than him. So I think that he can move up as long as he brings that razor sharp conditioning. Then I think he'll be fine. In 9th place, I have Errol Moore, which is actually, I was really surprised to see him in this lineup, because he competed in the 212s last week in New York. I believe he placed about 4th in that show, or 5th, 4th, 3rd, somewhere around there. Actually, I believe it was 3rd. And he looked really good. I actually really like Errol's physique as well. It's nice and pleasing. The one thing that I suppose I had a knock on about Errol is his posing, where he doesn't seem to pose with any emotion or aggression, and doesn't hit his shots hard, which, you know, sometimes can work for some guys. Like when you see Dexter Jackson go really slow, but he still hits his shots. Once he hits them hard. Now, Errol was looked a little bit lax on his posing, which is sort of what Sean Roden copped a fair bit for over previous years prior to actually winning the Olympia. And then when he won the Olympia, he posed with that bit more aggression and fire. So hopefully Errol can take at least something out of this and then pose that a little bit more aggression, because he has a great physique. And honestly, I think that, you know, even though he's going from 212 to open, I think he can still knock off plenty of names here. In 8th place, I have Dobra Mia Delev. Now, this dude actually sort of got, overlooked in terms of getting any recognition from that New York show, because I believe he placed 11th. And, you know, while he was outside the top 10, as I said in my my post-show of the New York and the pre-show, it was a deep lineup. Very, very deep. Yeah, Dorian Haywood, who placed, I believe, top 5 or 6 at the Tampa show, placing, I think it was down about 13th in this show. So Dobra Mia has a physique that's sort of similar to Jose Raymond in terms of the conditioning getting really tight, but maybe not as much separation as some of these other guys. Overall, his, you know, shape is overall pretty reasonably pleasing. It's just, I suppose, the texture of the skin and the lack of separation is what you might actually see his physique and go, it's not as pleasing as maybe you thought. But overall, I think this guy could knock off, get names ahead of him as well. I was weighing up to put him up as high as 6th, down to 8th, maybe 10th, but I settled on 8th position here for Dobra Mia Delev. In 7th place, I have Eddie Brazamontes. Now, he had a very successful year last year. Placed 4th, actually, in this same show. Placed 4th, I believe, in another show as well. And I suppose that was really his breakout year as a pro. And I thought he looked really good last year, with some varying degrees of, you know, being 100% and being 95% and things like that. So I think Eddie needs to be 100% to place where he placed last year in 4th position. But honestly, I think he can do it, because he comes in generally great conditioning. He's a big dude. His shape might not be as pleasing as a few of these other guys, but overall, I'm very, very impressed with Eddie Brazamontes, and he's a bodybuilder's bodybuilder. He just seems like a hard worker, so I hope Eddie does well in this show. In sixth place, I have Stan Delanger, who I've actually interviewed before, who is Sean Roden's training partner, or at least former training partner, and definitely one of his best friends, if not his best friend. And I can't wait to see how he actually looks, because he actually did the open class last year, but it was only a week or two actually after doing the Classic Physique Olympia. So we didn't get a real tester on what Stanimal can actually do as an IFBB pro in the open bodybuilding, because, he basically just filled out, ate some pizza between most comps, and came into an open show. And overall, he looked pretty damn good. But I think this year, with the extra mass that he's added, he's looking really good. Is he to the level where he needs to be size-wise to be winning shows like this? I don't think he's quite there yet, but he is looking damn good. He has very nice shape. I'm sure he'll come in condition working with Chris Aceto. So I'm excited to see not the pro open debut of Stan Delanger, but it sort of feels like that a little bit as well. So very excited to see how Stanimal does in this show. In fifth, I have Ronald Gordon. Now, he competed in Tampa, and I love this dude's shape. He's tall. Reminds me almost a little bit of Quinton Araya as well, in terms of like a taller dude, a guy that's sort of, as big as he is, he still needs to add a little bit more muscle to be a top guy, because he is so tall. He's got so much frame to actually fill out. But his shape is amazing. He brought good conditioning to Tampa. If he can bring that same conditioning, maybe fill out even a little bit more if that's possible, I think that he could do really well, and obviously I've got him in the top 5 here as well. But he's a guy that could vary. He could be as high as 3rd, could be as low as like 9th or 10th. So hopefully Ronald Gordon comes in really good condition again, and he can place top 5 in this show. In 4th, I have Antoine Valiant. Now, Antoine, I've always loved his physique, always been a fan of his, even from before he left the sport in the first place, and now he's obviously come back the last couple of years. And I love his physique, even though he's got a few imbalances, like his legs are huge, his back's slightly behind. I just think that he's got a cool vibe about him. So, and I really enjoy his social media, so I'm sort of drawn to him a little bit more. But I think Antoine can do well in a show like this. Now, he came 7th at the New York last week, I believe it was. And it was just because the lineup was so deep. And there's so many guys that were so close in that lineup in the top 10. It was just, I felt really bad for the guys that came like 5th to 10th. Because it was, those guys traditionally could place top 5 in any other pro show. So Antoine Valiant, I think, moves up here, gets a better placing. How high can he place? I'm not too sure, but I have him in a solid 4th position here with the potential to go higher as well. In 3rd, I have Patrick Moore. And when I was looking at Patrick Moore versus Antoine, I think Patrick is just maybe slightly more complete. And I think, based off, how he did last week and the fact that he beat Antoine last week by 1 position, I think that Patrick Moore falls in 3rd position here. In 2nd, I have Nguyen. Now, Arn actually since he's been prepping with Chris Aceto, his conditioning has been getting better and better, and his packages have been slowly getting better and better as well. He looked really good last year. This video here is from a Monsters in Pro, and he looked sensational there. I thought he did really well. So I think Arn's only moving up, and I think that he can get, obviously top 2 here, and I think he can actually win the show if he brings his 100% conditioning. And in 1st place, now, people might be wondering who I've actually put in 1st, because this is actually going to be a big surprise to many people, and it's Joe Seaman. Now, this dude actually competed and made his pro debut last year. He beat James Hollingshead, he beat Quinton Araya, beat Eddie Brazamontes, he beat Phil Claha. So he beat some really good guys, and he actually competed the same day he turned pro. I think it was the Toronto Pro, but he did. I know it was one of those Canada shows, because he turned pro that day or the day before and then competed as a pro. So I think that was awesome, and he placed 4th as well in his first pro show. So Joe looks like he's put on a lot of mass since then. He looks like he's in condition. So if Joe comes in shredded to the bone, big like he looks in his photos, and poses well and all that sort of stuff, I think that he can shock the bodybuilding world here, come in and win. And I'm sure that there's going to be a bunch of people out there saying, like, where did this guy come from? And I think it's just the fact that, people don't follow, I suppose, Canadian bodybuilding and stuff as much as they follow the US guys. And when people come from international to compete in the US, sometimes people get a little bit of a surprise. And I don't think many people are picking him here, but he is my surprise winner for the 2020 California Pro. Guys, let me know what you think in the comments below. Can Joe Seaman take out the 2020 California Pro? Do you think it's Nguyen to win? Patrick Moore, should he win this show? Because going into this, if you saw this lineup just say 2 weeks ago, you'd say Patrick Moore's going to win this pretty much hands down, but it's a different story now based on the fact that Joe's coming into this and Patrick placed 6th at the New York Pro just last week. So let me know your top 5, your top 10, your winner, your top 3, whatever you want to let me know in the comments. Let me know how you think this show will actually play out. And don't forget, there is a live stream of this show and I will be putting up content over the weekend as well. And if you guys like this stuff as well, make sure you give me a thumbs up and smash that like button. Also subscribe and hit the notification bell button. That way you'll be notified of every video that goes up for myself, Xavier Wills at Desktop Bodybuilding. And that means I'm going to be doing a preview, post shows, all that sort of stuff on this comp. Well, this is actually the preview. So make sure you do subscribe. Otherwise, you're going to miss out on all of that. And if you guys like this content on this channel, make sure you head to hostile.com. It's HOSSTILE.com. Enter XAV10, XAV10. The link's in my description as well. You'll save 10% off what I think is the best supplements in the world. I'd normally be wearing one of my Hostile caps, but they're in my room with my baby sleeping right now, so I didn't get the chance to go and grab that. But yeah, head there, look at the ingredients list because the ingredients list speak for themselves. So that's it for another video for Xavier Wills, Desktop Bodybuilding. We are out.